There is a very special pain when you love someone who always retreats every time you get close. Everything starts out great. The laughter, the deep conversations, the feeling of connection, like two souls are finding each other. Then, suddenly, they go silent. They disappear. And you sit there wondering, what did I do wrong? But if we look at it from the Stoic lens, perhaps the right question is not, what did I do wrong? But rather, is it really about me? Usually not. People with an avoidant attachment style don't withdraw because you're not good enough. They withdraw because they are afraid. Fear of getting hurt. Fear of losing control. Fear of loving so much that you lose yourself. It's not denial. It's a defense mechanism, a way of surviving. And the most painful thing is when you are sincere, but get dragged into an emotional game that you didn't choose to play. Have you ever been in a situation like this? The closer someone gets, the further they move away? If so, it's not your fault. And you're not alone. You know, no one is born cold. Avoidance is not an inborn trait. It's a survival strategy that they learn early. Many grow up in homes that lack emotional stability, where love comes and goes as quickly as it comes, where expressing emotions means risking getting hurt. And so, they learned to survive. Don't need anyone. Don't be intimate. Always stay in control. Because the closer you are, the more likely you are to hurt them. Philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not the things that make us suffer, but the way we judge them." For avoidant people, they don't reject love. They fear of losing oneself. In love, intimacy with them isn't comfortable. It's like slowly stripping away protective armor and facing a world that has hurt them. You may be giving them true love, but they only feel risk. Not because you are wrong, but because their heart is still learning to feel safe. Here's the irony of loving someone who's avoidant. The more important you become to them, the more they retreat. At first, they can make you feel appreciated, heard, seen. They're engaging, open, sometimes even the ones who initiate connection. But then, when the relationship starts to deepen, when the feelings start to get real, that's when they panic. It's not that they don't care about you. It's that because they care too much, to the point that they themselves do not know how to bear it. Intimacy makes them feel out of control. They don't know if they can maintain safe boundaries. And when their minds aren't ready to face the fragility of real feelings, they just go with the familiar, withdrew. You did nothing wrong. It's just, you touched a part of them that they weren't ready to face. You used to think that love would make them open up. But sometimes, it is love that makes them build another wall. This is when the emotional whirlwind begins. The avoidant withdraws, sometimes for days without a word, sometimes with a cold stare or a few unhelpful accusations. But it's not because they want to hurt you. It's because how they reassure themselves. When they are too close, they feel suffocated. And distance is the only place where they feel safe. As for you, if you are an anxious attachment type, the opposite is true. Distance is your biggest fear. You feel uneasy. You want to understand what's going on. You text more, ask more questions, try to reconnect. But the closer they get, the further they retreat. And so you fall into a spiral. One side running away, the other chasing. Both are in pain, but neither understands the other's pain. Philosopher Seneca once said, "We often suffer more from imagination than from reality. You imagine 100 reasons why they are cold. You blame yourself. You feel not good enough. But Stoicism teaches us, don't react. Observe. breathe, stay calm. Because sometimes they are fighting against themselves, not against you. There is a strange paradox about avoidant people. They crave connection, but again fear it more than anything. They want to love, to be understood, to be with someone without having to hide themselves. But as soon as the feelings become too real, too deep, too close, they start to feel suffocated, like being trapped in a space from which they have no control. And what hurts you the most is you are not asking for too much. You're just being present, loving, and honest. But to them, even that simple closeness is enough to send a warning signal through their brain. So they retreat. No fuss, no warning. They just get busy. They go quiet. They dive into distractions, anything that will help them, not facing one's own vulnerability. They're not running away from you, really. They're running away from themselves, from the fear of being seen, of being hurt, and of losing control. And in that escape, they lose what they desire most, a real bond. If you have an anxious attachment style, you're probably familiar with this feeling. Always be the one waiting, the one trying, the one hoping. You love deeply. You're not afraid of intimacy. But because of that, you're often the one who gets hurt first, in ambiguous relationships, in push and pull games that wear your heart out. They come close, then they go away. They say they care, then they disappear. And you wonder, am I not good enough? You are enough. You are just trying to connect with someone who is still running away from themselves. Stoic philosophy reminds us of something very important. Avoiding emotions only makes the pain greater. They are locked in an internal battle between their desire to be loved and their fear of being hurt. You cannot win a battle that is not yours. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you can bear it, bear it. If not, walk away, but don't complain." The statement sounded cold, but it was actually a wake-up call. You have the right to choose what is worthy of your peace of mind. And if it's no longer up to them, then maybe it's time to choose yourself. If every day around them feels like you're walking on eggshells, reserved, holding your breath, afraid that one honest word or emotion will make them retreat, stop and ask yourself, is this really love, or just suffering labeled as love? You can love deeply. You can be patient, understanding, and sacrificial. But love is not a one-way sacrifice, especially when that sacrifice is slowly eroding your peace. Avoidant-style person subject to change, but only if they are brave enough to face themselves, mature enough to stop running away. You can't do it for them. Love cannot save a person who refuses to save himself. And you don't have to suffer to prove your feelings are real. Stoicism teaches us something very important. Don't lose your own peace to save the chaos in others. Because at the end of the day, the only thing you really control, not them, not the outcome, is your own reactions and choices. If you're always the one waiting for a message, an explanation, for them to come back and stay for real, then it's time to stop and see the truth. You were not born to beg for intimacy. Love is not a disorienting game where you have to guess whether they will be cold or warm today. Love, if it is real, will make you feel safe, not panic. Clear, not floating. Steady, not exhausted. And sometimes, their absence is the clearest answer. Don't leave in anger. Leave with clarity, with gratitude, because you have learned a valuable lesson. Love cannot save a soul that is not ready to open. Stoicism does not teach us to be cold. It teaches us to live with virtue, mindfulness, and peace. You have the power to choose the love that makes you grow, not shrink back in fear. Protect the silence within you, for that is the source of true strength. If this video gave you a little clarity, or simply a sense of understanding, take a few quiet seconds to ask yourself, what kind of love do I really deserve? Don't choose what makes you tired just because you are familiar with it. Please select virtue instead of chaos, clear instead of blind, and always, always protect your peace of mind. And if you want to continue your journey of living more steadfastly every day, don't forget subscribe channel to learn more lessons from Stoic philosophy to help you become stronger, clearer, and more peaceful in this turbulent world. See you in the next video. Daily Stoic Light, a place to nourish your soul with wisdom and tranquility.